Hi lovelies, how are you all doing? Welcome back to my channel today. In today's tutorial we'll be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful corporate flayed gown you're watching right now in the video. The one in the manicure is the one I made, while the lady you're watching is the inspired model. This beautiful corporate flayed gown is in one of the corporate outfits I published on my channel a few days ago. You know, I promise I'll be giving tutorials on some of the outfits in my published videos. So guys, make sure you watch this video till end. Do not skip any part because this video gets you both the cutting and the sewing part. Thank you so very much, and let's quickly get started.
So guys, I'll be taking you step by step on how to make this corporate outfit. So I started with the down part, which is also the flay part of the dress. So the first thing I did was to fold my fabric. I folded it into two. So her round waist is 36 inches. So I will divide 36 inches by 6.28, which is the formula for a full cycle. So whatever it gives me, that will serve as her waist radius. Then I will add it to the length of the flay. So 36 divided by 6.28 will give me 5.7. So the length of her flay is 21 inches. So I will add 5.7 to 21 inches. So whatever it gives me, that's what I will fold. Can you see? So 21 plus 5.7 will give me about 26.7. So that's what I have on fold now. So that's what it is. So now I folded the fabric into, I folded it twice, and that gives me 4 layers. Remember, I folded it the first time before I take the measurement. Hope you understand. So now I will go ahead and take her waist radius, which is 5.7. So can you see where I place my tape? So I'll go ahead and measure 5.7. I'll measure it round. I'm using 2.5 yards of soft poly fabric for this outfit. Please, whatever you don't understand, remember to let me know in the comment section. So I will take the 5.7 all round. So this is her waist radius. So this is the part that will be around her waist. So from that 5.7, I will now take the length of the flay, which is 21 inches. So I will still take this 21 inches all round. So this is how to cut a full flay. Can you see? I've taken it round. So the next thing I will do is to cut it out. I'll cut out the waist part first. So I'll go ahead and cut out the down part. So this is all about the flayed part, which is also the down part of the dress. Can you see? So I will slash one part, and this part I want to cut open will be for the back part. That's the only part I will open. That's where the zip allowance will fall, the back part, that's the center back. So this is the only thing I'll be doing for the down part. So the next thing we'll do is to go ahead and cut the upper parts. So the first measurement I will take, this is for my upper body, the upper part of the gown. So I'll go ahead and take my vertical measurements. I'm using our normal princess darts. So the first line there is my neckline, the second line is the bust point, the third line is the under bust, while the last line, which is where I am right now, is the half length, which is 17 inches. I'm taking neck depth of 3 inches, then bust point from the shoulder is 10.5, her under bust from the shoulder is 14.5 inches, then her half length from the shoulder is 17 inches. So I'll go ahead and connect all the lines together, as you can see me doing. So I'll come back to the neckline. I will take her neck width. Her neck width is 3 inches. So I'm taking 3 inches neck depth and 3 inches neck width. So I'll go ahead and create my neck curve. So after that, the next measurement I will take is a shoulder measurement divided by 2, which gives me 8 inches. So on that same 8 inches, I will come down by 1 inch for her shoulder slope. So from that 1 inch, I will now take her chest line measurement. How do you get your chest line? By dividing your bust measurement by 6, then you add 1.5 inches to it. So whatever it gives you, that would be your chest line or bust line. So I'll go ahead and rule a line across, and this line will now serve as my bust line. Can you see? So the next thing I will do is to take the same 8 inches, the same half of her shoulder measurement on that bust line, then I will connect the line to the shoulder, and this line will serve as my armhole line. So I'll go to the half length. I'll go to her half length. I will take her nipple to nipple measurement. Her nipple to nipple measurement is 8 inches divided by 2, and that will give me 4 inches. So I will add half an inch for sewing allowance. So on that her half length, I will take 1.2 inches in for her darts. Remember, this is a very stretchy material, so the dart should not be much. So I will take 1.25 inches on the side front, then I will take 3/4 of an inch on the center front. So on her bust point, I came down by half an inch. So I will now connect it to the under bust. So that's my dart curve right there. Can you see? So I now came to the armhole. I divided the armhole line into 2. So I came down by half an inch on both sides. So I connected the down one to the side front. Then I will connect the upper one to the center front. Can you see that? So I added 1.25 inches to the side front so that it won't be shorter when I'm joining them together. So the next thing I will do is to take my round bust measurement. So I added 1 inch for sewing allowance. In this kind of material that stretches so much, you might still not add sewing allowance. because the fabric stretched so much. So I'll go ahead and cut. Can you see what I'm doing? So I'll cut the center front. This is the center front. I'll now go ahead and cut the side front. Do you know that sewing is fun? Sewing is actually fun, especially when you know what you're doing. Can you see? So right there is the center front. So this is how I'll be joining them. I will join the side front to the center front. So I'll go ahead and cut the back part. So I'll fold my fabric. So the first thing I will take is my zip allowance. So I'm taking 1 inch. I'm taking 1 inch for my zip allowance. So I will take it from the shoulder to the down part. So I'm taking 16.5 inches for the back part. That's the length of the upper part. So I will come to the middle of the cloth. I will take the same 16.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and join the lines together. So the next thing I will do is to take her neck width for the back, 3 inches neck width and 1 inch neck depth. So I'll connect them together. So from there I will take her shoulder measurement divided by 2, which is 8 inches. So on that point I came down by 1 inch for shoulder slope. So I will connect it. So from her shoulder slope I will now come down by 8 inches. So this 8 inches will serve as her chest line. So I will now rule a line across. Can you see that? So I will now take the same half of her shoulder measurement, which is 8 inches. Then I will now connect the line to the shoulder slope, and that will serve as her armhole line. So from her bust line I will now take her nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4 inches plus half an inch for sewing allowance. So I will come to her armhole line. I will divide it into 2. I will go to her half length line. I will take that of half an inch. So I will connect it to the chest line. Then from there I will now connect it to the middle of her armhole. So this is what the back parts look like. It's very simple. So I'll go ahead and take her round half length. So whatever it gives me, I will add 1 inch for sewing allowance. So guys, that's what it is about the back part. So I'll go ahead and cut. So this is how I cut the beautiful corporate dress you see at the beginning of this video. Please guys, remember to subscribe to my channel if you are new to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up and share this video with your friends so that they will learn from it. Thank you so very much guys. So I'm done cutting the back. So I'll pick this is the center back, and that open place is the zip allowance. That's where I'll fix the zip. So this is how I'll be attaching the side back to the center back. You already know how to do this by now, because I normally use
Princess Darts method because it's beautiful and it gives me what I want. Can you see? So any bustier blouse or gown I'm making, I normally use Princess Dart. You can also use shoulder dart, it's still okay, but Princess Dart is the common one that people normally use. So the next thing I will do is to go ahead and take my final trimming. Can you see? This is the front part. I'll fold it into two. So I'm putting these little pieces under just to lift the bust area up. You know, there is no pad, there's no padding on this. So I'll go ahead and take my last trimming. So on the armhole side, I will take my armhole, I will draw my armhole line, then I will indicate the midpoint of my armhole line. So I came in by 1/2 inch. Can you see? On that midpoint of my armhole line, I came in by 1/2 inch. So I will now connect it to my chest line. So my armhole is formed already. So I'll go ahead and trim it out. So that's the only trimming I'm taking on this. That's the only trimming, just the armhole. Because I cut out the neckline when I was cutting. I don't normally do that, but I did it on this one. So I will now place the front one on the back part. Then I will also trim out the armhole line. So the only difference now is now the zip allowance and the midpoint of the armhole where I came in by 1/2 inch. So the next thing I will do is to go ahead and join the shoulders. I will join the back part and the front part together. Can you see? So I will join the shoulders. So I'll go ahead and stitch them on my machine. Can you see? So I'm done doing that. So the next thing I will do is to cut the sleeve of my dress. So after folding it once, from the shoulder point I came down by 6 inches. I came down by 6 inches. This is just like a suit sleeve because it's a corporate dress. So on that 6 inches, I will now take my armhole, round armhole measurements. Can you see? So I now came down by 8 inches again from the shoulder point. That's my bicep. I came down by 8 inches. So on that 8 inches, I will now take my round bicep. Your bicep is the fattest part of your hand, the upper part. So I will now connect it to the armhole. Can you see? So I will now connect from there. I will also connect it to the shoulder point. So I'll go ahead and cut. So I will use this one to cut the second sleeve. So this is the first sleeve. Can you see how my sleeve is looking like? So it's just that the cloth is worn by manicure. When the owner wears it, you will see the effect of this particular suit sleeve. So this is the two sleeve. I will now place them on top of each other, the two right side facing each other. So I will now indicate the midpoint of this sleeve. This is one side of the sleeve. Remember, I indicated the midpoint of my armhole on the main body of the dress. So on that midpoint, I will now come in by 1/2 inch. So I will now connect it just like I did on the main body of the dress. So this part will be on the front part of my dress, because the armhole part where I came in is still the front part. You don't do this at the back part. Can you see? So this part now will be attached to the front part of my dress. Please guys, remember to give this video a thumbs up, share this video, subscribe to my channel if you are new to my channel. Thank you so very much. So I have to indicate it so that when I'm attaching it, I will know this is the part I have to attach to the front part. So this is my dress. I will go ahead and fix the sleeve. So from the shoulder, I will stitch to the other side. So that's what it is. So the next thing I will do is to cut the collar of my dress. So anytime you are cutting this kind of double collar, you have to divide your round neck into two. So her round neck divided into two is 8.5. So because it's a double collar, I have to divide 8.5 into 2 because I'm cutting it on fold. Can you see? I'm cutting it on fold. So I have to divide it into 2, and that will give me about 4.25 inches. So when I open it, I will now have 8.5. So this shorter part is 4.5 inches, while this longer part, you can see the part I'm cutting right now, that part is about 7 inches. So this other part now is, yes, the part where I'm cutting right now, can you see? That part is 4.5 inches. So on the midpoint, I came in by 1/2 inch. So I will now connect it because it's not supposed to be straight. You know how collar is. So this is almost like a shirt collar, but it's just that you have to divide it. You have to divide your round neck into 2. So when I open it up, what I will have on the shorter part is now 8.5 inches, but what I have here is 9 inches plus the sewing allowance. So I'll have to cut 4 of it. Can you see? What I have here is 4 pieces. So I ironed hairstay on all of them. So I have to place one on top of each other because this one now is for one part, because I have to use it to turn it. That's why I have to cut 4. Can you see? So 2 is for one part and 2 is for one part. So I have to stitch 2 together. After stitching it, I will now turn it to the right side. Can you see what it look like? So this one is for one part. So that's what it is. So you see the design at the front that look like a buttonhole. So this is what I use. So what I have here is 2 inches width. So I'll go ahead and stitch it. After stitching it, I will turn it. Then I will turn it to the right side and stitch on top of the both side. So I will now place it from the midpoint from the center part of my neck line. Can you see? So that is the front part. So I will stitch it to the dress. So I've done that, and I've stitched one part of the collar. So I want to show you how I stitch the collar. So you have to place the collar under from the wrong parts. Can you see? So I'm pinning it so that you see it very well. So you have to place one of the collar. Remember, this is the center. You have to stitch from center to back. So you have to pin it from the wrong side. That's where you'll be stitching it from. Then after, you now flip it to the right side of your dress. Can you see what it look like? So guys, this is what it is. So you now sew to the back. Please don't sew to the zip allowance. Remember to leave 1 inch. So that 1 inch will be where you will attach your zip. So I'm done stitching them. Remember to top stitch on the sewing allowance where you attach the collar so that that part will relax very well. So after doing that, the next thing I did was to close the side. So I have to close the side of the upper part from the sleeve. So from the sleeve, I will now run a stitch down to the half length. So after doing that, the next thing I will do is to iron Then after ironing, can you see what my dress is looking like at this point? This is the upper part. I've joined everything. So now I have to indicate the midpoint of the upper part. Then I will also do the same thing to the flay parts. I will indicate the midpoint of the flay also before I will now stitch them together. So this is the flay part. This dress, there is no lining. The material stretches, but it's very heavy. It's a very sweet material. All these materials now very expensive in the market. So I will now indicate the midpoint of the flay part. So I will now pick the upper part from that midpoint. You know why you always indicate the midpoint? So that you will not, so that one side will not be longer than one side. So you always sew from the midpoint. Can you see? And when you're sewing, please don't stretch, especially when the fabric itself stretches. So don't stretch your material while sewing. So you see the zip area, I have to iron haystay on it because before I will now stitch the zip, because this material stretches shaggy. Can you see? So after fixing the zip, I will now remove the haystay. You can use paper gum if you have, but what I have available here is haystay. So I have to close that zip area. Then after closing and ironing, I will now open it again. So at this point, after open, I will open it to the part where my zip will stop. So I will now pick up my zip. I will now attach it. You see that my collar did not get to my zip allowance. So guys, please subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up. I'm giving you a very detailed tutorials. This is one of the beautiful dresses inside the corporate outfits video that I published on my channel, and I promise that I'll be giving tutorials on each of them. Thank you so very much guys for watching. See you in our next tutorial, and bye for now.